Hello, guys. Welcome to the Tottenham vs Manchester United live match reaction. Tottenham Hotspurs 1, Manchester United 1. We take a point away from North London. We lost in North London against Arsenal 2-0, but we're taking a point. Stephen Bergwijn's 28th goal gave Tottenham a 1-0 lead, and then we equalised with a penalty with Bruno Fernandes, which was won by Paul Pogba. And we've got Labs on the show for the match reaction. So I'm going to get Labs' reaction first. And then, of course, I'm going to ask him questions. And now we'll go through player ratings. And then that'll be the end of this match reaction. So we've got Labs on. Obviously, you know my reaction because, obviously, you watched the watch-along. And the amount of and stuff. You're not going to see a amount of swearing during West Ham Wolves tomorrow. Don't worry about that. But Tottenham 1, United 1. What's your thoughts, mate?
I mean, it's a missed opportunity, really, isn't it? Because Tottenham played so bad. Like, genuinely, they were the worst team I've seen play so far in the Premier League in terms of restart. Like, the fact we couldn't capitalise on that is just so frustrating. I don't know whose fault it is because, is it Ollie's for not picking Pogba? Is it the players for not just like taking the opportunity? Is it De Gea's? Like, it's just, there's too many things you can really point the finger at. And I don't really think it's any one thing. I think everything, I think Ollie got it wrong with team collection. The players didn't turn up. De Gea just messed up completely. I think it's just a bit of everything, really. You can't really pinpoint anything.
There's actually a few things I'm going to talk to you about and ask your opinion on. So the first thing is, obviously, the Spurs goal and the mistake from David De Gea. Obviously,
Do we have to?
I know you laughed about it, which is quite comical that we have to laugh about it. But talk to me about that error, mate. He should be making that save, shouldn't he? Oh, hello, Swans Away Days as well, and Lewis EFC.
Pardon?
I just said hello to Lewis EFC and Swans Away Days in the chat.
He saves that 99 times out of 100. It's just annoying that the one time he doesn't is in a game. Because in training, he saves that every single time, pretty much. Yeah. It's just so annoying that we lose to, or not lose, that we concede to a goal like that. Yeah. If that goal doesn't go in, our morale doesn't drop, our heads don't drop, we still play the good football, we're still on top, and I'm sure we go on to win the game. It's just so frustrating. And the fact that in the second half, all they did was literally just sit in their box and let Maguire and Lindelof literally sit on their halfway line. Yeah. And from that half of the time, they were close to the bloody their box most of the time, how bloody far back they were. Yeah.
Obviously, another talking point was that potential penalty at the end. Of course, I know it wasn't a penalty, guys, as you saw in the watch-along. I said it's not a penalty, but I said because it's your team, you're going to appeal for it and you're going to want it. If that penalty goes in and we win 2-1, are you still happy with the performance, or are you still annoyed but happy that we got the 2-1 win? If we would have got that, or are you still happy with the 1-1 draw, or are you annoyed that we still it's like a loss, really? But
it's a dross.
It's a dross, yeah.
It's a draw that feels like a loss.
We've got a comment from Arman. Hang on, we've got a comment from Arman saying Pogba was class, which actually leads me on to my point.
Yeah, we'll move on to that in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so carry on with your point then.
It's just, if we got a penalty at the end, it's like, well, we really should be doing more than to have two fairly controversial pens. The Pogba one is still a little bit iffy. I'm not really sure that's even a pen, but because it's very soft on Pogba. But the second one's never a pen, obviously. So if we do get both of those, it's like, well, I mean, we played bad, Tottenham played bad. We shouldn't have to rely on fucking pens to do it, but at least we still did it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. We should have to rely on it.
We didn't concede we didn't concede 3 goals to put us out of the game or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, with a 1-1, it's more of like, well, we only still got a very dodgy pen. We didn't actually shoot in open play. We didn't get a goal in open play, whereas they did. Like, it was still a dodgy pen that got us a goal that Bruno Fernandes scores every single time. But it's just annoying, really.
Before we go on to player ratings and a bit like that, I'm just going to go through 2 comments that is made by Arman. Of course, You heard the one that I said. Pogba was class. He also said, but I believe the second half we were better than Spurs. Rashford should have scored. We should have scored 2 or 3 in that second half, mate. I mean, Greenwood should have scored. Or not scored, sorry. He should have... No, Greenwood should have scored and Bruno should have laid it off to someone else. Is that fine margins? I know we hear it a lot from Ollie, but is that fine margins?
I mean, it's not fine margins, bad decisions. That's what it is. Like, you can't put fine margins down to bad decisions. That's just bad decisions. It's not fine margins. Fine margins is what Sissoko did. That's fine margins.
Yeah.
If he misses that by 1 inch, Rashford's in and he probably scores.
Yeah.
That's fine margins.
That's what I said it. That's what I said in the watch line. I said Rashford's in here. Quick comes Musa Sissoko. I'm like, yeah, all right, no. I'll stay away from that.
No thanks.
Right.
If Ollie comes out with it's fine margins, I thought we played fantastic, but it's fine margins. Well, no, it's not fine margins. You just made fucking bad decisions.
I'm gonna go on to a point actually where when you talk about bad decisions, now in the chat or when people watch this, they're probably gonna think this is controversial, but should Pogba and Greenwood have started instead of James and Fred, mate? Because when they were out there, Fred and James looked like they were invisible.
Yeah. Greenwood, when he came on, ran at them, actually did something in the game. Dan James did nothing, to be honest with you. And Pogba just was a breath of fresh air. I know that he has his critics, and some people say, we should sell him, he wants to leave. But like, you just can't replace that, can you? His half volley, he did almost instantly. Like, there's not many other players in the world that can do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just world class.
Yeah.
It's just, and his movement where he got the penalty as well. Like, he's got past like 4 players there. There's not many players in the world, especially midfielders in the world, that can do that.
Right, I think it's
Pogba should have started 100%. Greenwood also should have started 100%.
Right, moving on to Sheffield United then. Is it a must Paul Pogba and Greenwood start?
Yes.
Like,
if they don't start, I'm going to have serious concerns.
Like, because obviously Ollie was, hesitant about starting Paul Pogba because of obviously he hasn't played since Boxing Day. So actually, Swans Away Day says Dan James is championship level. Mate, you can bloody have him back. He's shit. Dan James is crap. You can have him back.
Hold on a minute. Dan James has shown this season he is good. He just needs to grow a bit more. He's going to need a bit longer to get back into the speed of it. But I still rate Dan James and think he got a crap team. But yeah, for me, Sheffield United is just, it's worrying because against Villa they look terrible. They look like they should be nowhere near the European places.
Should have won,
but they should have won. But Villa also had the better chance. They also should have had a goal or two, not a disallowed goal, but they also should have had a goal. So because they play a 5 at the back as well, we just couldn't seem to break down Spurs. I just can't see how a team that with no creativity, especially if they play like today, how we win the game against Sheffield United. I can see it being either a 0-0 or another 1-1. Before
we go into the player ratings, I've actually seen a very, very good comment here from Aman. I'll shout you out, mate. Aman Hayat in the chat. He said, also, Bruno thinks this is the Portuguese league. Does he know that long shots don't work like this in the Prem? That's a good point.
It's a good point. He tried 3 or 4 of them today, and none of them worked. The one that he did, though, against in the first half, where it was easy for Lloris, but that thing swerves the other way, then that's going in. That's the thing. He's got the ability to do it, but it's just in the Premier, he needs to be a lot more accurate.
Right, do you want to go into the player ratings then, considering we're reaching the 10-minute mark?
This will be fun.
Right. I'll take it in turns. So I'll let you start off with the goalkeeper, David De Gea.
I mean, let's be honest, he's at fault for the goal, but he also made a few good saves after that, and his distribution was pretty good, I thought. But just because of the goal, you can't give any higher than a 6, surely.
Yeah, I would say a 5 or a 6, to be honest. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think Wan-Bissaka started the game poor. I mean, a lot of people
He came into it, didn't he?
Pardon?
He came into it, didn't he?
Yeah. I was going to say Armand's gone with De Gea as 6 as well. I think Wan-Bissaka started the game poor. He's probably been one of our best players this season, so I'm not going to shy away from saying he was bad. So he was bad to start off with. He grew into the game, which was good. We wanted him to. He actually made a couple of encouraging runs going forward. I think he made?
One thing that annoyed me about Wan-Bissaka today, though, he just didn't put any crosses in.
Yeah,
the amount of times he's on the edge of their box, he didn't put it in. He goes back or tries to move forward a bit further. Just put the fucking cross in. It's so annoying, especially as a winger myself. It's so annoying when someone just doesn't put the cross in.
Yeah. I'm going to go Wan-Bissaka a 6.
Yeah, I'd second that. Before I say something else as well, it's the same with Luke Shaw. He just didn't put the crosses in. Right, he's on the left hand side so many times. Just whip the ball in. Just put it into the danger area.
Right. Go on.
Sorry. Am I going Lindelof or Maguire?
Go for Maguire. Armand's gone 6 to here, 7 Bissaka, and 5 Maguire.
For Wan-Bissaka, I'll say 6 or 7 fair. Maguire, similar to Wan-Bissaka, really. He started the game poorly, but he also grew into it. After the goal, he kind of got his head back down, actually started leading the way he's supposed to. I don't think he really put a foot wrong after that, to be honest with you. So I'm going to go with Maguire as 6, just because I don't think he did anything wrong after the goal.
I don't know if Armand's had a bit too much to drink here, but he said Victor 8. And sorry if this is a shock to the system, because it's my turn here, and this might come across harsh in the comments, but I'm going to go Victor Lindelof a 3. Victor Lindelof was absolutely shocking today.
I'll give him a 5 at the minimum.
Well, we'll go with a 4 then, in between the two. Lindelof was absolutely crap today, in my opinion. He says Maguire and Bailly Lindelof partnership is a must. Yes, I second that, Aman. We definitely...
We'll go on to the substitutes after.
Yeah, we will go on to the substitutes, but I believe Bailly and Maguire partnership has to happen. He says Ollie needs to start Bailly and Maguire together. But we'll go on to the left back, and it's your turn with Luke Shaw.
I thought he actually had a good game, apart from not getting any crosses in. I don't think he put much of it. In the first half, he did get a bit exposed with letting Aurier get past him a bit too much. But I think he cut that out of his game in the second half, and I thought he got better. So I'm actually going to give Luke Shaw a straight 7.
7. I wouldn't disagree or agree with that. Sorry. No, I would agree with that. I wouldn't disagree with that. Apart from the crosses, like with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he didn't put a foot wrong, really. I mean, Wan-Bissaka was at error for the goal, you could say, but yeah, I don't think he's done.
It came down Shaw and Maguire's side, though, really.
Yeah. So moving on to Fred, because Aman said it in the chat, so I'm taking charge of Fred. I'm just going to read what Aman says first, because it seems like he likes to give us his opinion on the team. So I'm not going to take this in. I am going to take this into consideration, but I already have my own feeling on Fred. But he says Fred 4. He was non-existent. I wouldn't say he's a 4. I know he's only a point higher, but I'm going to go Fred a 5. I think he started the game poor.
Lindelof is 3 and Fred a 4. Fred a 5. That doesn't make much sense.
Well, I'll drop him down to a 4 then. He wasn't worse than Lindelof.
Oh, maybe. I'll say 4 for Fred. He's been our best player for the last few months, but form goes out the window now at this point because how long is right off. Fred just
I'll go 4. I'll go 4. I started off saying 5, but I'll drop it down to 4. He's not worse than Lindelof. He did play better than Lindelof, but a lot of people know that I'm not a Lindelof FC fan. Scott McTominay.
He was average, I think. I think average is the way to Scott McTominay. He didn't do much wrong. He didn't do much right. He's just average. So I'd say just a standard 6 McTominay, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he wasn't the worst on the field, and he wasn't the best.
Not much else to really say about Scott.
Right, Bruno Fernandes. Right, he scores a goal, and first half Arman says McSauce 6 as well, and he says Bruno 7. He tried. Now that's actually going to give a massive boost for Bruno because a lot of players in that game didn't try. Whether that was because they were scared about fitness or scared about getting injured.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, we say Lingard tries. Does that mean he plays well every single game?
If Lingard played in this game and he tried, I would give Lingard a 7 or an 8.
Yeah, but Bruno didn't have a good game. He scored the pen, but he didn't do much else. That's the problem.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's better than McTominay.
If Lingard had a game like Bruno did today, we'd be slating him, saying get him out of the club. I think we all know that. If he had a game as bad as Bruno, everyone would be telling him to get out. Agenda
against Lingard, though, isn't it?
Yes, I know, but that's what I'm saying. If it was Lingard having that as bad a game as Bruno had, everyone would be telling him to leave. Because it's Bruno, everyone's like, Bruno FC. I love Bruno, but he had a bad game.
I wouldn't say he's better than McTominay, but I wouldn't say he's worse. So I would just say 6.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'll just say my point.
Armand just says Dan James free with 3 laughing emojis. Go on then, mate. Dan James.
I really, really like Dan James, but it's just the end product today was just non-existent.
Oh, I'll tell you the comment in a minute. Carry on.
There was no, when you're the winger, you're meant to just drive at your fullback and try and whip the cross in, especially if you're that side, if you're that foot on that side. His cross, there was one decent cross he put away, he just barely overhits Rashford in the first half. But apart from that, he didn't do much, and that's what I mean. Dan James, for me, for the time he was on, he just didn't do anything. At least Lindelof actually did stuff at the back. At least Fred did make a few decent passes. Dan James just didn't do anything in the game, and I really hate to say it, but I think Dan James has to be a free. Yeah,
so you agree with Aman, sorry. I'm just going to read the 2 latest comments out. Just don't answer. I'm just going to read them out and then give me a comment after you mentioned 2 of them. So linking back to what we said about Lingard, Aman says, personally, Lingard is lacking confidence. And then Aaron does YouTube, says Regan Paul should have started.
I agree with the Lingard thing, but, there's lack of confidence and there's lack of ability, and then there's lack of not scoring for a whole bloody calendar year.
Yeah. Right, so I've got the... Go on.
There's a fine line between lack of confidence and lack of ability.
And I think Lingard drops into the lack of ability, unfortunately. I know he's an academy...
He does lack confidence, obviously, but to not score in a whole calendar year, something's not right there.
If I guarantee we'll win the last remaining game if Ollie chooses the correct team selection and also plays Greenwood on the right as he provides goals from Aman.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right, so I have the hardful task.
Rashid.
Go on.
You have Rashid.
Yeah. Obviously, before the game, there was a lot of praise about Rashford. Now, I'm not going to make that reflect in my decision. I think he started off the game bright, like you said in the live chat in the watch along. Bruno and Scott McSauce were the only ones that could sort of have some sort of pride in the first half. So Rashi played well in the first half. I wouldn't say he played bad. I think he was one of the brightest players in the first half for us, if not our man of the match for the first half. Second half, there was moments where you were just saying, release Rashford here. That Bruno incident the Pogba incident where he launched the ball over, you're thinking, if that gets past Sissoko, then we're in, and Rashi's won it.
Yeah.
But overall, I would say Rashford probably, who my man of the match is, because I already said it in the watch long, so it's not going to be Rashford.
Speaking of man of the match, quickly, Bruno's been voted as man of the match.
Bruno has?
Yeah.
Because he scored the goal, it's got to be.
Yeah.
But you'll know my man of the match in a bit, guys. But actually, Alan's gone lacking sharpness, which is fair, as he was injured also 3 months out due to the lockdown. That's Rashford.
It's just weird, though, because Rashford had a much worse injury, and when we went into lockdown, Rashford was nowhere near full fitness. Pogba was. So...
Anyway, to you tonight, before I even went on the watch along earlier on in the day, I said, if we're worried about injury, then surely it should be Rashford who who sits out and Pogba who starts, considering Pogba was the one who was coming back to full fitness.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rashford, I'll go for a 7.
Yeah, okay. Martial, he just didn't get any service, did he? He can't do much.
I don't blame him at all.
I don't know, do I? Like, he literally can't do anything. Like, there's literally nothing for him to do when he's not getting the ball. Like, Martial's probably one of the best shooters we have on the side. He's probably one of the best shooters we have on the side. You saw it in the when he turned that shot and he almost went in. Good save from Maurice.
Yeah.
But apart from that, he just didn't get the ball. Like, he can't do anything. He gets taken off for a goal who did nothing.
Yeah.
But Bruno can't get any more than a 6 because Martial can't get any more than a 6 because he didn't get the ball.
Yeah. Right, we won't go into Ollie's match rating. We're going to go into the bench first. So the first 2 substitutes, I'll let you have Mason Greenwood. So talk to us about Greenwood.
I'm actually going to give him 7.
He played well.
Sharp. He was much better than Dan James, and he was better than Rashford, I thought, when he came on. There was a few times where he didn't release the ball quick enough, but that's what to be expected from a 19-year-old kid. And, there was the time at the end of the half where I thought he should have just gone with his left foot, but he wants to make sure he has a better chance of scoring. So you can't blame him. He took his man on, he tried to have a shot, he linked up the play. I think he has to have a 7, really. I
agree. Before I go on to Pogba's rating, Aman has commented again saying, can't wait for the United Stand fan cams. Ricky, I'm telling you, Matic, Fleck, no. Matic should have started.
He will say that as well, because Matic actually didn't do too bad.
Right, I'm going to go on to Pogba. Man of the match. Pogba FC, mate. Pogba is in the house, mate. Wins a penalty. Technically guesses the equaliser. And
again, that half volley, Jesus.
Paul Pogba is bloody world class, mate. If Paul Pogba don't start against Sheffield United, there's something wrong. I know this is going to sound, because I know everyone on the channel and everyone that knows me knows that I'm Pogba FC. Paul Pogba has to get an 8 and man of the match.
I'm not even Pogba FC and I'm saying an
8. 8, and he's close to a 9. Paul Pogba is absolutely class, mate.
Literally, he came on and he just changed the game. Without Pogba, we look rusty. Even with Bruno, that just says it all, though. Everyone's saying, Bruno's the answer to everything. Well, when Bruno's not being that creative spark, Pogba still can be. That's the thing.
Yeah, so Paul Pogba at 8. Before I move on to the next player, Lewis EFC, I had Fernandes in my FPL, so he's got some points there.
That's good for him, then. Yeah, that's good for him. Yeah. Well, he also had a goal as well. So.
Who was next? And it was Matic, wasn't it, for Lindelof?
It was a goal or a Matic next.
Yeah. So
Matic, and you have a goal.
Yeah, I'll give you Matic then. Yeah. You can have Matic. Ricky's watching, remember?
He came on, and then did he go centre back or did McTominay go centre back?
McTominay went centre back and he went in midfield.
Right. So it was a weird substitution to take him off for Lindelof anyway. Why didn't you just bring off McTominay for him and you take him off anyway for Bailly later on?
That's what I said. What's the point?
That's a very weird substitution, but anyway, Matic came on, he did what he's meant to do, shield the back four, make a few plays in behind, pass the ball from back to front, from back to front, play into the more experienced and not more experienced, but the better technical players like Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, which he did. He didn't put a foot wrong, Matic, I don't think. So, as he didn't have much game time, I don't think he can give him any higher than a 6. He did nothing wrong.
Before I move on to Igalo, Aman says Lindelof looked injured when he came off. Is that a worrying sign, mate?
If he plays like he was now, no. But I mean, yeah, it is, because we've really got Jones and Tansay injured, so we don't really need a third one. But
so if he's injured, it would have to be Bailly to start and someone like a Deschamps Bernard or Tottenham Mengi on the bench, yeah. So Igalo, is that it then? Did we only bring on 4 subs?
Well, Eric Bailly, there's no point doing Eric Bailly. He was doing off like 2 minutes.
Eric Bailly gets a standard 6 because obviously
yeah. And then we'll both decide on Ollie.
Right. So Igalo, when he came on, I thought, right, this is going to be it, and I genuinely thought we were going to win it when Igalo comes on. Not because he's the world superstar that every player wants, every team wants up front. Sorry. But I know what Igalo would give us was that hold-up play, and he would give us that sort of protection that we need, just to hold the ball up, lay it off to the likes of Greenwood, Rashford on either side of him. and Pogba and Bruno in behind. So I thought, he's gonna give us some sort of stability up front. Now, he didn't put a foot wrong, like what you said with Matic. He'd done what was expected of him. He did hold the ball up. If you remember, it was actually Bruno, I think it was Bruno or Greenwood's effort, where it went from Rashford to Ighalo and then it went out wide again. I think Ighalo has the brain there. He does have the football brain. I mean, he's been in the game long enough to know where to pass the ball, etc. But I don't think he done something phenomenal. I don't think he done something terrible. So, sorry for the voice crack. But I'm just going to go for Ighalo for a 6. I mean, it's not like he messed up, and it's not like he lit the game apart or was a man of the match performance. So I reckon Ighalo 6.
Yeah, like I said on the watch on, for me, I think as much as I don't like him, and I think he should leave the club, I think Lingard would have been a perfect person to play in there because they were just sitting back. So
was he even on the bench?
Yeah, he was on the bench.
Oh, he was on the bench with Pereira, wasn't he?
Yeah. So they bring him on. Well, I think he should have come on instead of Ighalo because Ighalo was not the player to bring on at that moment in time because he don't have the pace to press them properly, whereas Lingard does. He won't run around the entire pitch as much as Lingard would. As much as we all say that as a joke, he does. Like, Lingard probably would have been a better option than Ighalo in that game, just under the circumstances. Like, put him on the right, get Mason up front, just give him a bit of experience up front. Then you have Mason providing the goals. Lingard running around a lot in the midfield and on the wing. I think that's exactly what we need. The problem is Ollie wants to play him at number 10, which ain't happening.
Right, before we move on to Ollie, we can't obviously give a rating for the crowd or the fans because there wasn't any there. But our man has put another comment in, which is much appreciated, mate. He's gone with, we know Sheffield United will play a back 5, so we should play a 4-2-3-1 with Pogba and Matic as holding midfielders, but obviously Pogba playing slightly forward, like slightly more advanced than Matic.
With the back 5, is Matic really the player you want to have? Because Matic is really only there to shield the back 4. When you're playing against the back 5, the back 4 isn't going to be under pressure that often.
I think a Fred needs to be in the CDM with Pogba and Bruno ahead of him.
You want to give Fred another chance?
Yes.
I'm joking. Yeah, I think Fred should be in there with Pogba and Bruno.
Right, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I'll have my stance on this first, because instantly, right. So the team selection is he goes with. I'm happy with.
Here we go, everyone. Get ready.
I'm happy with, and then I look at the midfield and I'm thinking, why? Oh, why? Hang on, we got a couple of questions. Sheffield United play overlapping centre backs and wing backs. Good team, to be honest. I think McTominay should play CDM with Pogba. I don't think McTominay is the centre mid we need next to Pogba.
I'm not saying they're not a good team. I'm saying against Villa, especially, it just did not look like the team they came into lockdown with. Villa looked much better. Sheffield United looked much worse.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's to do with the fact that they're not actually as good as were, and they're just having an amazing season now. They've had 3 months off. They've really chopped off, which is to be expected.
Yeah.
And they're actually back down to earth at that level again.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, then I think we should be swapping them under the floor.
Make sure you smash a like on the video as well, guys, and subscribe to the channel if you're new.
Yeah. And also, it's weird. You don't know how they're going to turn up. Because of the overlapping centre-backs, which is a very weird thing, I think you need the mobility of someone like a Fred to make sure to stop the overlapping centre-back. So as a Matic won't have the mobility to do that because they're going to be coming down the side. So Matic shielding the back 4 ain't going to help.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on what I said with Solskjaer, right? So, bloody hell. I'll go on to the questions later, guys. Let me and Labs just finish on Solskjaer's rating, and then once we finish with that, we'll answer any questions that are in the chat. So, like I said, the team selection was all right. I mean, it's what we wanted. The goalkeeper, of course, what we wanted. Then the midfield comes. Then the worrying part. Why is Bruno missing? If Rashford can play, who is further then coming back than Pogba, then why is Pogba left out? McTominay in there, it was either him or Fred. Whoever was in there, I wasn't going to be too annoyed about, but it was McTominay. Obviously, the front four picks itself with technically I would have had Greenwood in there, but Rashford, Martial, and Bruno picks itself. So the team selection, if there's an individual rating for the team selection, I'd give him an 8. I think if Pogba and Greenwood start, it's a 10 because it's what we wanted. The performance, oh my! Now this is where it gets interesting because, it's harsh, and I love Ollie to bits. I do love Ollie, but I'm going to be very harsh here. The tactics through the game was crap. I don't know what he said to the players. I said to you in the preview, didn't I, that he's probably just going to say this is the first game back. Go out and express yourself. And
which they didn't even do.
Yeah, which they didn't do. But I think that's what he said, and I'm worried. I'm genuinely worried, mate, because if we do that against beyond this season into next, and we do that against Man City, Liverpool, we're gonna get battered, mate. And we if Tottenham were better today, Tottenham would have put 3-4-5, sorry, on us. So the performance, I would give him a 4, potentially 5. Substitutions, I would give him a 6, possibly a 7. If McTominay and Greenwood were brought on in the halftime break, I would give him an 8. But I'll give him a 6 because they were made in the 60th minute. Overall, I'll give Ollie 6 or 7, but I'm edging towards a 6. Yeah, I'm going to go 6.
I can't really argue much with that, to be honest. I think the tactics were a little bit all over the place. I'd score low for the substitutions, to be honest with you, because what's the point in putting McTominay as centre back if he's going to take him off?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So there's not really any point in that. I'd still give him a 6, but I think the substitution is just there's no point in doing that. You might as well brought Eric Bailly on, because when McTominay was on, we looked suspect defensively.
Yeah.
So, what was the point of that? If we had Bailly on and took McTominay off instantly, we might have looked better defensively. We might have been able to get up the pitch a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 6 for Ollie as well.
Right, we'll take the last 2 comments of the live chat, and then we'll end this match review. And we'll be back for Sheffield United, mate, where we don't know what's going to be happening there. So we've got Aaron does YouTube. Wilder is just a really good manager, knows how to get the best out of his players. Saw him do it at Northampton when he won the league. So obviously he won the league for Northampton when he was there. And Aman again, who's turning into a bit of a consistent subscriber in the live chat, goes, I'm buzzing for the next game after seeing Pogba. Just want to say to all the Pogba haters, sit down. The real king is in town.
Yeah, good point.
Pogba FC, mate. Pogba FC.
Watch him just not start. He's not ready.
Pardon?
He's not ready. He cannot start.
So just before we let you go and before we end this stream, obviously make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new, of course, and share the video. I'm aiming for 10, 15 likes on this video. But before we let you go, mate, first of all, are we going to beat Sheffield United next Wednesday, or on Wednesday, sorry? And you're looking forward to another watch along and match reaction?
It's hard to say, because if we play that, then who knows?
Yeah.
It really depends on if Pogba and Greenwood play, to be honest with you. If they play, I'll say yes. If they don't, I'll say we get another draw. Yeah.
And are you looking forward to the watch along and match reaction again?
Yeah, as long as we win.
Lewis EFC says, are you doing Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth? Yes, I'm going to be doing a Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth watch along. I don't know why, because both teams are crap. But yes, I will do a Palace Bournemouth watch along. So thank you for coming on to the match reaction, labs. Make sure you smash a like on the video, like I said. Leave your comments about what you thought of the game. Tottenham won, Manchester United won. We move on to Wednesday, where we take on Sheffield United at home at Old Trafford. So thank you for coming on to the show, labs, and I'll speak to you very soon.
Yeah, all right.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, thank you all.
Bye.